Hello and welcome to the top 25 movies of 2024. Yes, I know this took way too long to make. I admittedly procrastinated a lot. Um, yeah, we're fine. I wanted to do one for 2023 movies, but I just didn't end up finishing it. This time, I'm finishing this one. Yeah, assuming you're actually watching this. If you wonder why I'm doing 25 instead of like 10 like most will do, is because there's just way too much good stuff that I want to talk about. I figured 25 would be good to get a good range of how great 2044 movies were. But if I talked about every great movie from the year, this would be way too fucking long, and no one would want to watch it all the way through, understandably. So yeah, enjoy. How to kicking off this list, we got How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. This is a very on the whole, this movie is a very simple. But what makes this work well is how well written these two characters are, especially with its lead, because he's kind of a douchebag in the beginning, but you really grow to love him. Like you can't even really hate him. You could just tell like he's just I'm not really. I'm about to say kid, but he's stated to be 24. He just really had no freaking doing, but he's grow very mature. But he can really shows he was working the mature, especially as he goes for just wanting to get that inheritance money to actually care to his grandma. It's I actually think grandma carries as well. She could have easily just been basically a prop, a moving prop, but the writer is an actually really intriguing character that you actually feel for. Yeah, I admittedly think there's not much to this movie, but it's like super effective, and I even the second time I really felt it when I watched it the second time. So yeah, it was awesome. Abanadik, I really don't want to say too much about this movie because trying to describe even small details of spoilers. It's a very emotional ride. The connection between these two brothers is incredibly well written. Feels so genuine. Uh, I don't really know what to say. Like, it's a very good, very wrenching film. Yeah, you'll understand. I don't know how to say it without spoiling. From Ground Zero, this is like an anthology film where a bunch of filmmakers of Palestine have to make a short, a documentary or fiction, or short, to explain life in Gaza. And this short, like, this could have easily been really repetitive, just saying the same thing over and over and over again. But the stories are so varied. It's like it can be. Like I admit, when I was watching it, it felt like a lot because you're watching 22 of these shorts. Like, even though like this movie was like, wait, how long was this movie? Actually, how long? It was only like a little under 2 hours, which is, but it felt longer because you're seeing like all the like 22 title screens. It was always engaging because it's something new each time. Like you feel like you're exploring the whole country in a way, getting so much insight in just these 2 hours. You feel like it's sort of like a tour. Like, and some of them are still ingrained in my head. I mean, I don't remember all of them immediately, but like one that I'll definitely not forget was an unfinished short because like the director, sure, her like I think it was her brother, I remember correctly. I only seen this once when it was in theaters. Shout out to my local AMC for I played that movie by the way. She said like I think it was her brother died, or died in an airstrike. It might not, I might be getting the relationship wrong. Feel free to correct me. And then he decided just leave the short as it is, unfinished. Damn. Another short about a guy who was trying to submit it, who couldn't attend the premiere of his movie at a film festival because the Israeli force would let him. It's crazy. Like very educational short. Like pair this up with a certain other pick that's coming up later in the list, you can probably guess what it is. Oddity. This is a very fun horror movie. It's kind of old school the way. Actually, maybe also not too. It's very minimalist. Not a lot of locations. Very simple storyline, but it's very intriguing. It has very good tension. I wouldn't say I found this movie as scary as some people said it was. Some people said it was the scariest thing they watched in a while, but does successfully be creepy. It's a lot of fun. If you want a really good, solid horror movie, this is a great pick. Yeah, not much to say, but it's just a really solid horror movie. Conclave. So when I rewatched this, I decided to listen to a audio commentary from a YouTuber like, and overall he didn't like the movie. Well, I obviously did love the movie. I saw it when I saw it in theaters. But what was interesting, he asked while watching it, "Who cares? Why should we care why the Pope is elected?" I actually kind of reflected on that because when I first watched this in theaters, I was totally enthralled by this movie, and even on rewatch, I still really enjoy this movie. But why? Because if you ask me about, the actual conclave that happens here, I didn't give a shit. I'm not religious. Why? So why was I involved with this movie? The answer is that's not really what the movie's about or why, to me, it's interesting. I love this movie for how it uses the setup to, in a way, critique. I'm not sure critiques of church. I'm not sure these are actual critiques of the church. I'm not part of it, but like a lot of the hypocrisy around it, like the this petty fighting, oh, when you're all part of the same beliefs. Like these are really fascinating subjects. Like I've stated I'm not religious, but I do enjoy stories that really main stories that cover a lot of issues surrounding it. And movies like this satisfy that niche to me. So this was very fun. And also, honestly, I don't think this movie was not like a stealth series. It got pretty a little crazy. Like maybe not crazy. It's not. It kind of acknowledges a little goofiness. I mean, there was like freaking hidden layers in the church. But it was all in service of a really fun story. It did give me a lot to think about. So yeah, I didn't care. It wasn't what the main comp the movie was about that cooked me. It was what it was setting up to do, and I think it's really to think about. And there's also, I know everyone talks about the whole twist. I'm not really talking about that because I don't want to spoil it. But the ending speech is great. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, awesome movie, a lot of fun. Queer. What makes this movie really interesting to me, that I noticed when I rewatched it, was like, I'm not sure if subversive is the right word, but I feel like it really goes against lots of common tropes in gay romances. Like, they're normally either super tragic or like super sugary. This movie's neither. It feels more trippy, and I really like that. It makes it feel super different. And it does some very interesting themes as well, like addiction, but mainly with drugs and sex. Of course, what's interesting about sex scenes in this movie, it's not erotic like you would expect it to be. They've always portrayed this grittiness, this maybe gritty is the right word, like so raw. It's definitely not meant to be arousing. Yeah, you're supposed to feel it, but you're not supposed to be aroused at all by it. And I really love the complete churn the movie takes, like midway, going to all that new location. Like the turn of events was caught me off guard when I first watched it. I did not expect it to go there. But then on rewatch, it makes a lot of sense. We think about what it's going for. There's one scene in particular I don't want to spoil, but I think you've seen this. You know the one I'm talking about. Lots of great visual work as well. It's a very trippy. I heard it compared to Lynch. That's a good comparison. I agree with that. Yeah, this movie's cool. Sujo. I was admittedly in a kind of a trance of what I wanted to say about the particular movie after the third watch, because like when you watch this movie, it's a movie that just wants you to soak in this growing up of this boy, like a lot of we do, but I feel like this one does it so well because you just don't really think, you just feel it so hard with all this vivid imagery. The scenarios are just so much hits in this movie. This is kind of a cop out segment, but I did feel this would be on the list. I just don't have the words to say about it. Maybe I'll pick on the podcast someday and I'll do a better job. I don't know. Anora. Sean Baker loves doing movies about sex workers. Like, we got this, we got Tangerine. He's gonna do another one after this. I haven't seen his entire filmography, that'd be another. But what I do admire is that he's always trying something different with the subject matter, and this this is such a good blend of like really kooky, maybe not kooky right now, very fun, dark comedy, but it never, I don't feel like the movie ever glorify. It's like it finds a nice tightrope between like not demonizing sex workers, but never feel like it's glorifying the industry. I never get that with this and Tangerine. They never feel like it's glorifying. Like he's very aware of all the awful aspects of it, but never really treats like the people doing it are just inherently scummy. Even though Honora in this case is crazy, absolute wild character who's definitely not a good person, but you can't really hate her at all. Well, even though your Jeff acknowledged that she is not is whack. The humor is very funny in this movie. Never gets away of like all the dramatic aspects, and the manager even hit hard in like the last bit, like I don't know, 30 minutes of the movie. Can get really crushing as well. It's a great experience. Problemista. There's two things I immediately have to point out about this movie. Number one is Tilda Swinton. Like, I'll be honest, I think she probably gave my favorite performance of the year, and it's a shame she got no nominations. Like, she was so into this role, like, really embracing the whole energy of this crazy character that was still felt believable, and contrasted so well with Julio Torres' character, who was a more I don't know, grounded. They balance each other so well. The second thing I love about this movie is its visual style. This movie has such a really cartoonish style. Like there's so many sequences that I don't want to spoil that feel like something you see in a kid's cartoon, but it works so well in this like really adult story about immigration struggles because they add some really cool symbolism. It's a really fun. Even as someone who isn't an immigrant, it really can relate to all these struggles of finding work, fitting in, or feeling like the system's against you. And Julio Torres communicates that so well in this script with all with the visuals as well as the actual narrative journey character, and the humor just works so well. Like I watched it the second time and I was still laughing a lot. Well, of course, the act between him and Tilda Swinton did help a lot, but the jokes just land so well. It's a really great example of how to make a really fun movie with really deep, compelling themes. It's awesome. It did. This is kind of the latest installment in what appears to be a recent trend of movies. Period piece coming of age movies in the same vein as like Lady Bird, or I know this wasn't really a period piece, but eighth grade kind of meshes in with this, and mid '90s. But I think the reason this is my favorite of this like trend. One, the humor is just like even on the second watch, this movie's so funny. And what I think I really love about this movie, I think this felt the most authentic. Like one, both with how characters act, this movie just relishes in that 13-year-olds, not even just 2008, in general, are complete degenerates, and it embraces it. It doesn't shy away from it or try to tame it down. Not, I mean, the other thing there's you, but this one just really soaks it in. It feels so real. I also really love how well it utilizes the fact that it's in 2008, mainly with the use of the internet. Like the internet usage was so spot on. It replicated YouTube very well, replicated the old chats very well. It really felt like you were looking at a computer screen in 2008, but that doesn't get overbearing or become a dubbed gimmick. Does have some familiar trope like parental stuff, but I mean it's about kids growing up. Like let's be real, basically every kid's a deal at like it's kind of weak. That's kind of a given, but this is an awesome movie. I'd say this is one of the better coming of age films in recent memory. I'm more of a snail, the best anime film. The only anime film on this list. There's some good anime films, but this is the best one. What I love about Adam Elliott, I mean, I've only seen his features. I can't really haven't watched his shorts. Uh, have I? I think I might have. I love how he combines tragedy and comedy just so seamlessly. Like you watch it and one doesn't dilute the other. Like it's never so tragic that any sense of comedy just vanishes, and the comedy doesn't make the tragedy seem stupid or a joke. All his emotions are really raw. And it's not the type of adult animation like, I don't know, Family Guy, which is just, oh, this is really stuff aimed at like edgy 13-year-olds, not really mature adults or anyone with an actual maturity. This is a movie that still makes me funny, but to feel very real. To actually be able to have serious topics very well discussed. Some ways I can see some parallels between this and his previous film, Married Max, like alcoholism was definitely one. Uh, loss of death being is another big one. But he doesn't feel like it never feels like you're doing a redo because such great character writing. You always makes these really lovable characters. I just really care about watching. And when it ends hits, it always hits so well. I would say I think this movie had a little lighter of an ending than Mary Max for reasons I don't want to spoil. But it worked well. It didn't feel cheap or unearned. It actually felt very satisfying. Yeah, this movie's dope. A real pain. Like Eisenberg just like I can clearly tell Eisenberg was trying to go out and create a buddy comedy film, kind of in the vein of some older from like the 2000s. But what I really enjoy about this one, opposed to like another buddy comedy movie that came out in 2025 called One of Them Days, which felt like a rejected movie from the early 2000s, is he meshed the old with newer film standards just so well. Like, yeah, it still has kooky characters, not a super high stakes plot, but what he did well is that he just kind of ditched all the stupid cringe humor that does not really hold up well today. Don't get me wrong, this movie is funny as hell. I was laughing so much about this movie. The character writing is very strong, very interesting in this movie, but also managed to carry like more heavy ideas like depression without like completely killing the mood in a like whoa like a complete tone like feeling like it was a total shit. It felt blended in very well, and it's also very impressive. I would have to do an analysis to figure out how he did this, but the movie has literally no antagonist. There was like one small moment where Benji fell asleep on the train, and that causes them to like have to spend like, in terms of movie time, like 5 minutes trying to catch up with the tourist gain, and that's it. That's all the opposition the two characters face. But the movie was never boring. It was always engaging. Like that is incredibly impressive. I don't know how the fuck he did that. Yeah, really a great movie, great take on the genre. I love to see you. I have to check out Eisenberg's previous movie. I heard it's not as great, but this makes me want to watch it. I'm Still Here. The movie that won Best International Feature. This movie, I really like how it's approached to these events. This little dictatorship. It's never like a drought. It show that it's awful, but it's also really it's a type of movie that I feel like is very important to watch in this current age, showing this ordinary fan just fighting against it. And I love how they write this lead character. They could have a really bad writer could have accidentally write some girl boss character. I don't know. Is that term appropriate to use? I don't really know. I'm not really super into the term. But they write her such a very human character. It's very believable. I love the ending to this movie. It's generally one of it made me froze hard. I admit there's not much to say about this movie, but it's just a really well put together movie. There's not more to say. Heretic. It's kind of like God's Not Dead but good. If that sounds like a strange comparison, they're both movies where the Christian, or well Mormon, but no, get the idea, and the atheists have the debate duel. But what makes this movie like infinitely better than the God's Not Dead movies? Well, I've only seen the first two. They were fucking boring. I thought about watching all of them, but they're so boring. Maybe I'll watch the rest sometime. Is this movie really balances them very well? Like watching this, you can make good arguments for both ends of where the writers slash directors of the movie stand, because it treats both sides with intelligence and respect, and that makes the actual debate more interesting. Instead of just being, oh, we all know where this is going. This is clearly pushing to make this side look stupid, so it loses at the end. No, no, no. Both, um, both Mr. Reeds and the two girls really feel like an opposition because Mr. Reeds is giving all this very well thought out explanations, and then the two lead girls, there is an ambiguity of what happens to them with them. I mean, it really invites you to project yourself. The experiments are very interesting, very fascinating. Yeah, it's a really fun movie that does this whole religious thing way better than others. Like honestly, they should stop making these types of movies after this one. All right, Kinds of Kindness. Yorgos Lanthimos is one of my all-time favorite film directors, and even though I wouldn't say this is his best film, it's still incredible. That's just how good he is. It's not quite as thematically deep as like Lobster or Poor Things, but it excels as a fun, dark comedy throughout its nearly 3 hour runtime. I mean, kind of helps it's really like three shorter films. But the humor is so funny. Even on my second watch, I was laughing so much at all the crazy, fucked up stuff that happens in this movie. Jesse Plemons, Emma Stone, and Defoe all do a great job playing three completely different characters in each storyline. Like, I love acting in Yorgos Lanthimos movies in general. He always has this weird sense of acting that's very unique to his films, but it doesn't feel like a gimmick. It always feels like it fits in perfectly, especially here. It helps elevate the humor. The storylines are crazy, ridiculous, very unpredictable, bizarre. Like, this, in ways, this feels both like a good introduction to what Yorgos Lanthimos is, and Yorgos at his absolute most unhinged. Like, if you thought his English films have been getting tamer compared to his Greek ones, well, you're in for a treat with this one. He's just goes off the rails in the best way possible. Strange Darling. If there's one movie I would suggest you do not research before watching, it's probably this one or The Substance, one of the two. This movie has this is admittedly another one of those movies that's trying to highly influenced by Tarantino. A lot of indie filmmakers are, for I guess obvious reasons, popular. He was in himself, but this movie really nails the influence while still having its own sense of style. The use of non-linear storytelling was fucking genius in this movie. Like, I knew this comic art because I didn't really look up the movie. I just saw it had good ratings. And like when it literally starts chapter 3, I was like, what the fuck? I thought something was wrong with the movie. No, its revealing of information was so smart. Like this movie would suck if it was chronological order. Absolutely suck. But it was very thrilling. Lots of surprises that you don't see coming. And it really even captured that. Even speaking of Tarantino, it captured the pulpy attitude of this older film so well. Like I'm not sure. Okay, maybe I'm projecting if I'm saying that, but it feels old school, but in like a modern way. And it's so much fun. And let me tell you, the climax of the movie I was very, very heart pounding. Like it's a thrilling movie. It's so much fun. Yeah, definitely going this one not knowing things. Next up, we have the best Mission Impossible movie, Thelma. Well, obviously, it's not part of the series. It's just, I'm mainly saying that because the movie makes it very clear right from the get go that's what it's inspired by. But the reason I still say that is because main issues with those movies, they're fun. They have cool set pieces, but they're not very interesting characters. And this movie did a really great job of balancing the action and character writing. Because Thelma is such a realized character. Same with, what was the grandson's name? I'm bad with remembering characters' names, I'm sorry. But both of these characters have both really aid with the themes of the movie because it's like exploring being old. And yeah, you're doing it in a really crazy storyline, but it never feels like treating the elderly like a joke. Like this movie could have been like really stupid, been a shitpost, but the way it's presented, like I mean, I don't think it's the same kind of thing could happen in real life, but like it feels plausible that I could someone be someone to stage face because they do respect the confines of elderly people. Like I know Julie Squibb did a lot of her own stunts in this movie, and even on paper they sound crazy, but like one stunt was involved like doing literally just climbing upstairs in the bed. But character in the movie whose name I don't know off the top of my head worked with knowing the physical limitations to make it really feel really intense and it's without feeling exploitive. It's awesome. it's it can. What am I saying? Um, yeah. Uh, a different man. This movie has some of the most fascinating social commentary in a movie I've seen in a while because like you start the movie like you start it when you get to the part with the actual transformation, you think it's like, oh, you gotta learn to love yourself. No, it's about how people pretend, oh, we totally treat these people with like like disfigurements or even disabilities. Like I'm pretty sure the script was obviously the script specifically for some sort of disfiguration, but I think when I was watching this, I was thinking a lot about like the context of disability in general, probably because I'm autistic. And we all know media portrayals of autistic people are not always the best. So I guess I ended up having that in mind while watching when I was first watching this movie, and it does a great job of like constantly going all these different angles. But then you have like other layers of how people mask them, and it shows like if you phony masking yourself in a way, and seeing what people really think about you when you're wearing the mask, like in the movie. I'm just doing an analysis right now. This isn't really a proper. This is something I'm gonna get bigger analysis. There's probably one out there, but aside from the commentary, very great performances from Sebastian Stan and Adam. What was his last name? Up, great dry, dark sense of humor. it's a very entertaining movie. It's just great satire. Love it. We Grow Now. This movie, I love movies about children can be really fascinating when they're actually written well and not like many adults. And this is a movie that really understands children well. Cause like this movie really makes you feel like a kid in this like what feels like a big world, but in these projects is not really that big of a world. And the movie never shies away from like showing all these hard of the area in such I don't know thoughtful ways that never feels like poverty porn. It's I don't know what to say about the movie. It's so it's just wonderful. Oh yeah, the two lead children are fantastic, absolutely incredible actors. This was their debut. They fucking knocked out of the park. Like damn. I hope their careers are good. Ghostlight. This movie takes a lot of familiar subjects and just uses them such real like oh yeah, dealing with loss of loved one like in such a fresh way. Like we have it's a great portrayal of art as therapy, creation of art as therapy through the parallels between the Romeo and Juliet and the struggles of our protagonist. Let me tell you, Keith Ford did a great performance in this movie. Like I know, like basically no one saw this. I don't think it got $1 million in boxes. But if it was well wrong, I could totally see him gotten the Best Actor nomination. It would have been very well deserved. Like this, it feels so genuine because everything, all the characters feel so lifelike. This is probably one of the more lifelike movies in this list. There's a few actually. I actually don't have much to say about this movie to be honest, but it's very funny as well. 'Cause it meshes its darker, its like very serious subjects with really great sense of humor. That was even funny on second watch. Like it's such a very well blend of drama and humor. I don't know what to say, but it's a great movie. Nickel Boys. This movie really could have done a very standard, lazy approach to its subject, but it does some so much interesting things. Well, there's the obvious example of the first person point of view. Does not feel gimmicky at all. In fact, like, I mean, I've only come close to one other first person movie. Actually, no, two. Hardcore Henry and Enter the Void. This would be up there with Enter the Void having a purpose. Hardcore Henry's, it really just felt like a gimmick. This has really good narrative purpose to it. And I love the going back and forth perspectives between these two characters. Gives like a whole, I don't know, three-dimensional look. Instead of just one viewpoint, you're seeing a much bigger picture of the school. And you're really immersed into the horrors of this reform school. I love I don't know if I call it a twist with the change perspectives. I can't really explain. It's a very unusual type of twist, but it works so well. It was a devastating watch. Like I can remember sitting at the theater, being just absolutely shocked by it. It's incredible. Alright, now we're getting to my 10 out of 10 movies of the year. So, yeah, if you wanted the real god tier movies, this is where we're gonna get them. No Other Land is an absolute achievement in documentary filmmaking. I'm not just saying that because the fact that the filmmakers got all this footage with all these IDF soldiers all over the West Bank doing all these atrocities is and not getting killed. Well, I mean, no one got killed, but that was long after the movie, which don't worry, it's still bad. But that's not what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about achievement, um, getting all this footage into itself is incredible. But like, this movie could easily have been just like what's the word I'm looking for? Misery porn. Like just showing like nothing more than showing us, but it creates such a vivid picture of the West Bank, showing all these citizens and learning about their lives. It's such a three-dimensional picture, done extremely well. Like, I, it's kind of a shame that you're basically have to pirate this movie to watch it because no one's gonna fucking distribute it. Go hunt this down. It's really an important watch and an incredible film in general. The substance. This movie is so much. It's a really fun horror movie. I don't like they're scary at all, but it rules. I love it's how it commentates on beauty standards amongst women. I mean, that's weird. I know that sounds weird coming from a man, but yeah, no, the statements are very powerful, and they deliver them in such a creative way. The actual plot is extremely unpredictable. Like, this is a very unique horror film, and I don't watch much body horror to be honest, but I love the body horror in this movie. It's so cool. It's crazy. A very fun movie. Some say it's not a movie you should watch while eating. Honestly, I don't. I mean, I ate a big meal before this, and I was just fine. I just find this movie entertaining in like a good way. Like, there's a lot to appreciate about this movie. It's fun. It's a very fun horror movie. Exit and Forgiveness. Some of the most masterfully written dialogue in the movie. Like, I rewatched this, I was just so awed. Like, everything in this movie is just a conversation. This movie is basically entirely conversations, aside from like just a few lone shots of the protagonist painting. And my God, I gotta say, I love how painting is used in this movie. Like, the symbolism is so well thought out. Like, especially the final shot was just absolute awe-inspiring, incredible genius. Well, like the way movie, this is immediately a trope. Oh, the deadbeat dad. It's a trope, but the way the movie explores this is so complex. Like, it's not a movie. This could be easy one with easy answers. The movie like refuses to give that. Like, even when there's a conclusion drawn, it's not really a complete acceptance or a complete reject. It's something more complicated. I'm getting the spoiler territory. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to explain why this movie is so phenomenal to me. Yeah. And even still, there's a mixture of religious things in between. Like, there's like great topics about how Christianity like encourages these types of abusive relationships. Admittedly, a very bold move. I'm amazed this movie didn't get called woke. Probably because no one saw it when it was in theaters. Yeah, like it was. It's it's just a beautiful, thoughtful depiction of the broken family trope, just done so well. Like, I don't think I'll see a better example of this type of story than this film. It's amazing. When I saw the TV Glow the first time I saw it in a theater alone, and I just literally outside the theater shouted, "That fuck, Ollie." No one saw me. I can just. Then, yeah, I even watched it again with someone I was dating at the time, because I just want to share this incredible film, and that could be enough to give you the picture that this is truly my favorite film of 2024. But obviously, that would be really anticlimactic. What I love about this movie, I love how it approaches horror in just ways that even like the ones on our previously on the list don't do. It's psychological horror in its purest form, and it got under my skin in just ways that weren't even intended. Like, everyone knows the whole trans allegory thing the movie's about, and I even went into this film thinking, oh, maybe I can try to stretch it out. But when I got to the end, the movie just ended up forcing me to reflect on my obsession with nostalgia, which might need to be its own video. I love how, when I'm talking about that, the whole Howie thing, I love the vagueness of it because it could have been a really in your face thing that would be that could honestly be kind of eye rolling, like how some ways that people didn't like Don't Look Up or Being Very in Face. It's such the vagueness end up also allowing for exploration of all other themes surrounding it. Like in general, having no sense of lostness, that does feel terrifying. And I never, and it's more terrifying to me than like I don't know something like what Terrifier or Final Destination, which is just a bunch of, ooh, look how crazy these kills are. That kind of those movies are not scary. That's not really horror. That's just gore fest. This is a movie that actually will get under your skin into your conscience. To me, at least. And even still, there's also I not that's not the only thing I love this movie. I adore the cinematography. I was certain this was gonna have cinematography nomination in the Oscars. It is a beautiful fucking looking film. Incredibly unique look. Look, I love the performance of this movie. Like Justice Smith, like in many other instances, this performance could understandably seen as bad, but it works so well with his character, just complete mind numbness. Like it works so well. Yeah, movie's awesome. This is my favorite movie 2024. I could probably go on for longer, but I want to get this short.